In over 1,000 meters, and this is the lineup. In lane one, Alice Burnett from Queensland, 2 junior world gold medals last season over 1,000 and 500 meters. A real prospect. Got those medals in Bochum, and this is her first racing experience. So on the far side there, lane one Australia, Alice Burnett, then Dziewska for Poland, and then lane 3 Kazakhstan, Natalia Sergeyeva for Russia in lane number 4. 5 is Agnes Brunli for Norway, and then Vivora for Poland, and Bridgen Jones. And a really bright, fast start there on the near side by Jo Bridgen Jones, but just spearheading now Agnes Brunli for Norway. From a very sporting Norwegian family, which includes Celine Brunli, who is a world-class Nordic cross-country skier. And Celine Brunli, as you can see there, it's boat number 8, and then 2 from the bottom of your picture, that's Vivora. Then Celine Brunli right up there with Natalia Sergeyeva of Kazakhstan, who is also doubling up later in the women's kayak. She had a really good season in the Asian Games last year in Guangzhou, where she took silver in the 500-meter race there and bronze over 200 meters. But this is the full 1,000 meters. It's early in the season, and of course there are some absentees. This particular event in the World Championships a year ago in Poznan, right here, was won by the German Franziska Vega, with Katalin Kovac in the silver medal position. And then Sofia Paldanius of Sweden took the bronze ahead of Britain's Rachel Cawthorne. And it was Rachel Cawthorne of Britain, who's also coming back after being laid low mid-season with a virus, who took the European title. And we'll see the British women's squad in Rachice in the second World Cup regatta of the season. But you can see there, lane 4, and it is Natalia Sergeyeva who's really opened up here, coming to the half distance, past that big spa centre on the far side of the regatta course here, who leads the way. To just below her in lane 5, that's Agnes Brunli, and it's Sergeyeva who's going ahead of Dziewska of Poland, and then on the far side, Alice Burnett for Australia. So Sergeyeva with a useful advantage. That's clear water over the pole in lane number 3 in these blustery conditions, and it really is slightly gusting, because right here on the finish line at this particular moment, as they work their way through the second half of the course here, actually the flags are really still. So a little bit of change in the conditions, the strength of the wind dropping, but it's Sergeyeva who has the main advantage. Thousand meters, not the Olympic distance for women. The major women's distance, of course, being 500 meters, and you can see there really pumping with the legs there, Sergeyeva. But actually now closing the gap there is Edita of Poland, beginning to do really good work now. She's found a really good rhythm. You can see that it's still clear water, but that gap has closed marginally. But Sergeyeva very much in charge, and now Agnes Brunli from Norway moving forward into what looks like 3rd position. Sergeyeva really well balanced, quite an upright stance in the boat, but getting good coverage on the blades. And from here on in, coming in now into the red buoys for the final phase of the race. And it's going to be Russia from Poland, and then Norway and Australia fighting it out for the bronze position in this opening race on World Cup Regatta Day number 1. But this has been virtually pillar to post, and Sergeyeva takes the victory here. Top of the picture there, that's Zuzka of Poland, and then Agnes Brunelli coming in third place, and right at the top and the bottom, oh, that was close between the two Australians. Well, from Canadian from kayak singles to kayak doubles, and the women once again in action here over 1,000 meters. Again, not an Olympic category, but just 6 finalists here occupying lanes 1 to 6. And away we go here with Belgium furthest away from you in lane number 1. 2, Poland, who've got an experienced duo in Sandra Pawalczak and Magdalena Kruszkowska. And also Poland doubly represented on the lane closest to you on lane number 6. But one would expect a very strong challenge from Poland in lane number 2. They were 7th in Europe last season, 4th in the World Championships on this very regatta course. And powerful start. Uzbekistan are in lane 3, Chile in 4, and Bulgaria in 5. And Poland's second crew, but when I say it with a great deal of respect, because they've got Karolina Naj, who was 3rd in the World Championships here in the Polish K4 over 500 meters, partnered today by Małgorzata Wadowicz on the near side. And you can see there that the race at the moment is developing over the far side of the course in lanes 1, 2 and 3. Lane 6 on the near side. This is Karolina Naj and Małgorzata Wadowicz. And those two have moved up strongly at the moment, and Poland very much to the fore in this particular women's K2 1,000 meter World Cup. So moving into the second half of the race, and now coming into view, and this is very much a hometown battle here. This Malta Regatta course, which has seen many renovations over the years, but is a fantastic recreation centre, not much more than 10-15 minutes walk from the centre of Poznan. Poznan also getting ready to host the 2012 European Football Championships, but at the moment here, really great unison here from this Polish duo. And this is the partnership. They're in lane number 6, which is closest to you, rivaling now their teammates in lane number 2. And it's very much a domestic fight here through the 250 meter mark, and it is arguably the slightly more successful partnership of Naj and Wadowicz, who are getting the better of the argument from Pawalczak and Kruszkowska on lane number 2. And here you can see now really pushing that advantage home now. Third place would be Femke Weck and Lisa Broek of Belgium, who are in lane 1 right on the far side, and trailing at the moment Uzbekistan, Chile and Bulgaria. Coming to the line, and Naj and Wadowicz of Poland, they are going to take the victory in the women's kayak pairs over 1,000 meters, and they do so from their Polish teammates Pawalczyk and Kruszkowska, with the Belgians at the top of your picture now coming through for third place.
stand. Please move forward.
This is the lineup. Well, this is the result there. You can have confirmation. Poland 1-2, Belgium 3rd, and then Bulgaria, Chile, and so on to the third of our non-Olympic World Cup warm-ups this morning here, and that's the Canadian 4. Actually shoots the boat back. So here we are once again. Start of the Canadian 4s. This time a good start and a pretty even start from everybody. Nice blade work by the Polish quartet on the near side. Real harmony, good fast paddle strokes to establish themselves out of the start before settling into that cruising rhythm and preparing for what may be the first of 3 attacks that we'll see. But you can see already now in the center of the echelon there, 3 from the bottom of the picture, Belarus with the experienced quartet of Walszewski in the stern, and then the Bogdanovic brothers, who are Olympic achievers, and then Rabchanka in the bow of that Belarus Canadian 4. And beyond them, you have Poland, and then on the very far side in lane 1, it's Uzbekistan. And now all of them having settled into the rhythm, but here are the quartet from Belarus. Belarus, the world champions here. They were silver medalists in Europe last year. Good long paddle strokes there. Very good harmony, and they're being chased there on the near side in the dark race suits there by Kazakhstan, with the Emelianov brothers. Well, there's 3 of them in the boat there, Mikhail, Timofey and Sergei, and it's Sergei in the bow, then sitting behind him Timofey, then Mikhail, and the other man in the stern in the dark outfit there was Yevgeny Safronov. On to Poland now. 2 crews in here. But Belarus, through the half distance there, they've got the edge. And on the far side, just about, I think, in 3rd place at the moment, difficult to see from this angle, would be Uzbekistan. And Belarus looking pretty comfortable up front there. And just looking for another injection of pace here to maybe take them completely clear of their rivals. The balance, incredibly critical in any sort of Canadian boat, but the balance between 4 men in a Canadian canoe, really difficult to maintain, and the 4 men you're watching now do it extremely well. All of these competitors, of course, coming out of winter training now, and this first World Cup regatta very much a barometer for all of them. But it is Belarus from Kazakhstan, then on the top of your picture, Uzbekistan, and the 2 Polish crews on this occasion now. It's the Polish crew in lane 2 with Jakub Kozbiak, who is in the bow of that Canadian 4 at the moment, who've got the better of their rivals in lane number 5. But Belarus, the world champions now, just beginning to do enough to hold off the Kazakhs in 2nd place and the Uzbeks, who are going to finish 3rd. It looks that way. Uzbeks just putting in a little bit of a burst now to try and maybe get up for 2nd place. This could be close for 2nd. Belarus will cross the line to take the victory, and it's very tight. It could just be Uzbekistan, but that's a photograph between Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, I think, have held, well, it is very close between the 2 of them. Just waiting for the official result to come through. But Belarus underlining 35.51, I think, if I'm reading that. 336.46, I do beg your pardon. So now time to really turn our attention to this, the first of our star events of the morning there with, as you can see, Ale Urania, the top World Cup kayak paddler in the individual K1 1000. In lane 8, Cyril Carr for France. Lane 9, closest to Marko Tomicevic for Serbia. Away we go in this race, which should develop into a battle between lanes 4, 5 and 6. Erik Larsen of Norway, very experienced, usually establishes his rhythm and builds through the race. But on the near side, closest to you in picture there, that's the 21-year-old Marko Tomicevic representing Serbia, who will this year play host to the European Championships in Belgrade in the middle of June. Two from the bottom of your picture, Cyril Carr, who's coming up to his 27th birthday on Wednesday. World champion in the K2 1000s back in 2007 in Duisburg, but now working individually at this stage of the season. Then Peter Gela of Slovakia, who was second last year in Poznan over the 500-meter, half of today's distance. And just looking for this race to unfold now in the center of the course. One man who's finding it quite tough on the far side of the course there is Zupancic of Slovenia. And spearheading now, you can start to see now Ale Urania moving through. Erik Larsen, you can see the balding head there, just off the pace at the moment, but close enough and certainly good enough to play a hand in the finish. Coming to the half distance, past the big building over there, which is one of their new attractions here, Hot Spring Spas. But that won't be on the mind there in the foreground there. Yellow vest of Anders Gustafsson. Then it's Larsen, then it's Urania, and then it's Miroslav Kirchev, this very promising junior. But it is the front three as expected. And at the moment, it's Gustafsson from Jönköping in Sweden. In picture now, 32 years of age. World champion, gold medalist over 500. But he's got experience over the 1,000 meters. Go back a couple of years to Dartmouth, and he was the silver medalist in the World Championships in Canada over there. Larsen, so experienced, the most experienced man on the regatta course, moving past Ale Urania, last season's top kayak paddler in the World Cup Series. And it's these three now. Gustafsson holding off now, pumping those legs, blades going in, good coverage there from Gustafsson, but he can feel Larsen now really breathing on him, and also Ale Urania. Urania sets the benchmark in a sense for this race with the absent Max Hoff, sadly sidelined through illness, and Tim Brabants on this occasion early in the season, coming back after surgery and recovery, not able to squeeze into the final on this occasion. And Larsen puts the bow of the Norwegian kayak in front now, just ahead of his Scandinavian rival on the near side. And here is Erik Larsen. So effective, and there's Urania. The angle slightly deceptive there. It may look as if Urania is ahead, but Larsen's right up there with him. Urania putting in the burn now as they come right in front of us. They're deep into the red boys. Urania now, who was so dominant last season, coming through to take it away from Erik Larsen, and Gustafsson still putting it in. It's by half a kayak now. Urania's got it, and just easing up, in fact, little bit easily there. Urania, Larsen, and then it's Gustafsson. Far side, Emmanuel Silva of Portugal taking fourth place. Emmanuel didn't see too much of him during the race, but there is the man who's won it and has started the World Cup season very much like 12 months ago, by the best part of half a kayak. And in fact, there you can have it. And the man to watch here, very much the world champion Vadim Menkov of Uzbekistan, who's in lane number 4. Furthest away from you, Romania, that's Josef Cirila. Two from the top of your picture, that's Piotr Kuleta for Poland. Then it's Dejan Georgiev for Bulgaria. Then into the center of the echelon, Menkov in 4. Kaszkor of Poland in 5, Brendel of Germany, who gets a really sharp start, and that was Sebastian Brendel, the European champion from last year and the world bronze medalist, and he got the smartest of the starts. And Brendel from Germany, 23 years of age, who got that gold medal in the Europeans. That's the first time he stood on the top step of a major championship podium, but he's really knocking on the door now, and interesting to see how this battle unfolds now between the German and also the Uzbek. The Vadim Menkov, who also was flying high in the Asian Games in Guangzhou last year, winning the Canadian singles over 1,000, and a two-time world champion, not only the world champion last year but also in Dartmouth in 2009. We'll be hoping, of course, to make it 3 in a row in Szeged in August at the World Championships, which, of course, are Olympic qualifying for London 2012. So just to remind you of those on the left there, Ukraine in lane 9, who's going to be closest to you, Vadim Tsipan, but in an outside lane has an outside chance. And then Ruslan Muratov from Kazakhstan, who's in lane number 8, also out of picture. 6 there, that's Sebastian Brendel. But you can see now Menkov has taken a decisive advantage there on the far side. Brendel much more upright, whereas Menkov much more forward in his body shape and paddling. And it's Menkov now who's got this solid record over the last couple of seasons and is really the man to beat there. Menkov and Brendel now leaving the rest to scrap out for third place as we come to the half distance. And third place, well, Shirilla top of the picture in there, also with Georgiev of Bulgaria, and also very much up with the pace there, Kaszkor of Poland and Muratov of Kazakhstan. But this is the man who commands the race at the moment. 24. So even though he's had won two world titles, still absolutely with years to come, arguably not at the height of his powers. And Brendel, who had that very sharp start, finds himself a full boat length down now in second place. And Menkov now got this really solid rhythm. There's Brendel on the bottom of your picture there, Menkov on the top, and Brendel. So there's and you can see now they're closing up now for the fight for second place. This is going to go to Menkov. Nobody's going to catch him, but Brendel at the moment just being reeled in. 250 meters to go. And the second place fight could be quite interesting now. Dayan in there, and also Kaszkor and Brendel. But Menkov, the further this race goes now, the further he goes away. Really good leverage and getting the boat really running nicely, not checking, and he's pulled away and sent a signal that he's wintered well, and he's very much the man to beat Attila Weider here in the World Championships. Brendel was third, and look at the margin here. And it is Uzbekistan who take the victory. Germany are second, and then just ahead of Germany, or just behind Germany, Thomas Kaszkor of Poland taking third place there. So Vadim Menkov. And then the Bulgarian, and then Piotr Kuleta, the other Polish contender after that. But Menkov knows that he's very much the #1 man. And here is the result. gold to Uzbekistan, silver to Germany, the bronze to Poland, with Bulgaria, Poland, the Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Romania and Belarus completing 4:11.66. Osipenko-Radomska, the Olympic and world champion, and completing the lineup is going to be the woman at the bottom of that list. This is Josephine Nordlo from Sweden. So furthest away, and Rikkola for Finland. Watch out for Sofia Paldanius from Sweden. Natalia Sergeyeva going for Sweden. Natalia Sergeyeva for Kazakhstan in lane 5, looking for a double victory on the day. Nicole Reinhardt from Germany, 4 from the bottom of your picture. There she is in picture now, 25 years of age, the 6-time world gold medalist, and away we go. And very slowly off there was Natalia Sergeyeva. Really got caught by the start, and the action very much on the near side. And on the near side, that's Josephine Nordlin from Örnsköldsvik in Sweden in lane 9 in the yellow. 2 away from you is the world and the Olympic champion Ina Osipenko-Radomska representing the Ukraine. And then just ahead of her, Alana Nichols, this bright find from Australia. And there's Nicole Reinhardt in centre picture for Germany. Fast start there. And then beyond there would be Sergeyeva, but she's not in picture. Sofia Paldanius is just creeping into it on the far side. But it is Nicole Reinhardt coming down to 250 meters now. And this very experienced German who won the 500-meter world championship 6 years ago, 2005, who leads into the second half of this race. And it's Reinhardt. So the 6-time world gold medalist leading the reigning world and Olympic champion. And then between them, Alana Nichols of Australia, this bright new find from Western Australia, national 500 and 200 meter champion. But this is Reinhardt, totally focused in the zone there, pumping away, trying to hold off the Olympic champion. There's Paldanius in yellow in 4, being shadowed there by Teresa Portela from Portugal. But it is Reinhardt who's been right there, right from the beginning, dueling with the Olympic champion, but she's got the better of the argument. Coming right in front of us here now, and it is Reinhardt who's going to take this now from the Ukrainian, who's now being challenged by Alana Nichols for second place. And this new Australian might just get this. Alana Nichols coming in, and she's taken the scalp of the Olympic champion. Also Paldanius in the photo there for third place. Well, smooth performance there by Nicole Reinhardt, who was totally in control of that race. Radomska started fast, but very impressive performance there by Alana Nichols from Australia. There's Ina Osipenko-Radomska, but not the winner on this particular occasion, the world champion on this course last season. But let's keep it in perspective. That Olympic gold medal by posing for Playboy in 2008. But there it is. Paldanius did get the better of the Olympic and world champion. Then Nordlo in 5th place. Sergeyeva, who was looking for the double, but got a poor start. Men's squad here. The women will join the World Cup regatta fun in Račice. So there is the lineup there. Serbia next to the Portuguese. Jevic and Pajic, and then 6. Arnaud Ibois and Sébastien Jouffe for France. Very experienced partnership. Le Croubier and Philippe Collin for France. 2 French crews side by side in 6 and 7. And then Slovenia, Leban and Cook. And closest to the British, and that is Jonathan Boynton and Paul Wycherley. Away now in this final of the men's kayak pairs over 1,000 meters. Pretty good start right across the regatta course here, and a very open race here, particularly with the Hungarians and the Germans yet to join the World Cup regatta scene, but they will do so come Račice and then of course Duisburg. But up there very much in lane 4, that is Portugal. Pimenta and Ribeiro, who've set out their stall very early. Travelling next to them are the experienced Serbians, fourth in the World Championships here, and the Serbians are in lane 5. Lane 6 there, that's the French, that's Ibois and Jouve, who are right next to their teammates in 7, Le Croubier and Collin, and it's Ibois and Jouve who've got the better of that particular fight in the early stages. Coming down towards the half distance now. Full ground lane 6, but then moving up there, the Portuguese in this race as well, and lane 3 doing well. That's Pannekoek and Kouwenberg of Belgium. Lane 3, and they go through at the half distance with the advantage, and they're ahead of Portugal, and then France ahead of Serbia at the moment. So lane 3, and it's Lorenz Pannekoek and Olivier Kouwenberg who are the leaders at the moment in lane 3 for Belgium. And I said that this was a very open race, and so it is. On the far side there, you can see the Slovakians in lane 1 trailing that little trio. That's New Zealand, Steve Ferguson in the bow, Darryl Fitzgerald in the stern there, but not really making any impression. So Belgium away at the moment, and there's Portugal, certainly vying for second and third places now, as you see these two men just having a little look over there, Lawrence, to just see where the opposition are, and the opposition are right alongside, and you can see Portugal really burning up. They put in a really big effort there, and they've taken on the Belgians at the moment. And this is in fact in lane 4, Portugal and Belgium side by side coming towards us now, and it is the Portuguese with that burn coming into the red boys who've taken command of this race. It's Portugal over Belgium, and then the fight now for the third place sees the Serbians being taken on by the French. Serbia in third place, but in fact crossing the line, it's Portugal, Belgium, then Serbia, then the first of the French crews, and New Zealand coming strongly towards the finish there, improving to come in just behind the French, but that's unofficial at the moment. Portugal, Belgium, Serbia, France, and that is Arnaud Ibois and Sébastien Jouve, and then New Zealand, but just waiting for the official confirmation there. So confirmation of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great Britain indeed 6th ahead of Slovakia. Well, this is the lineup for the Canadian pairs over 1,000 meters. Won last year by Romania. The Belarus partnership, Andrei Badanovic and brother Alexander Badanovic in lane number 8. Now, I'm just looking at this lane number 8. Where are they? Because I'm just having a look on the near side. Germany in 9. That's Kurt Kuschler and Peter Kretzmer, and away they go. And no reason why Badanovic's brothers are not there, but they are absent from lane 8. And try and find out for you what has happened to the Belarus crew. Meanwhile, on the near side, Germany doubly represented in lane 1 and lane 9. In lane 9, closest to you, it is Kurt Kuschler and Peter Kretzmer. And then on the far side in lane 1, Eric Rebstock and Ronald Verch. Good start by this German duo on the near side here. And a lot of competition in the German squad for places in this particular boat class. Germany, who did not figure in the World Championships last year, and therefore opportunity here. Azerbaijan in lane number 6, the very experienced partnership of Sergei Bezugli and Maxim Prokopenko. And the news of the Bananovich brothers, one of them, and I can't tell you which one, but one of them, unfortunately, is not well, and that's the simple reason why they're not on the start line. Disappointing, of course, they are the Olympic champions, but I'm sure we'll see them later in the season. So 9, 8, 7 there, leading the way there. Yuri Chaban and Dmitro Sidik of the Ukraine. And they have the advantage now through the first half of the race. In lane number 6, that's the Azerbaijani pair of Bezugli and Prokopenko. So actually looking at the moment now, that looks to be Azerbaijan with the advantage. Azerbaijan, who were 5th here last summer in the World Championships and the European champions last year in Spain. Far side in lane 1, Eric Rebstock and Ronald Vetch showing up there on the far side. And at the moment there's quite a big scrap going on for certainly second and third place. Coming down to the quarter distance now, just quarter of the race left now. And Azerbaijan, who got the advantage, just looking at the buoy line as they come in there. Possibly Germany on the far side from France. Mathieu Goubel and Mathieu Begnier of France in second, very close to, well, third, very close to second place at the moment. And the action for second and third on the far side of the regatta course now. And the French accelerating in lane number 3. There you can see them. There's lane number 2. That's Belarus, and the Germans on the far side. And the French finishing very fast now. Coming very quickly, the French, putting in all their best work. But the Azerbaijanis, I think, are going to hold on. Who are they? Because the French are really on a charge here. It's going to be very close. And Azerbaijan just get there from France. And then, I would say, in third place, it will be Rabshanka Valchevsky of Belarus, unofficially into third place. So, Bezugli Prokopenko delighted. The European champions started their season in good style here in this World Cup regatta. So, 3:48. And once again, World Championship time last year, 3:37. So that shows you something like 11 seconds slower than it was. Just again indicating the different conditions. Lane 5, New Zealand, Belarus. 3 from the top of your picture, Norway, Bulgaria, Uzbekistan. The final of the women's K4 500. Good start, and very sharply away, the Portuguese and the Polish in lane 7 and lane 6. And just looking at that there, you can see Poland with Karolina Naś in the bow there. She's one of 3 in the boat who were bronze medalists last year here, and they've got a very sharp start over the Portuguese, who are, you can just see them there just below the Polish boat. But those two got a very, very strong start. And looking on the other side of the regatta course, good start also from Norway. And looking for the Belarus quartet as well. That is the Belarus quartet there right in picture now. And they have suddenly burned very strongly from lane number 4. Pamilova, Papok, Kudenska and Paltaran. And they go through 250 with almost 3/4 of a kayak length ahead of the rest of the field. And it's Portugal chasing, also Poland, Australia not far away, but it is Belarus. They have really burned strongly now, and look at the advantage that they've got coming down towards the finish of the race, and they're not going to be caught. It's going to be Belarus to take this very impressive performance. Early season it may be, but they've absolutely streaked away from this field. 2 from the bottom of your picture. It's Australia vying with the Portuguese for 2nd and 3rd places, and it's going to be Portugal just ahead of Australia and Poland just behind in 4th place. So promising performance there by those young Australians, 2 from the bottom, but nobody could get near to the Belarus crew, who were dominant. 1:38.37, the just one race to come, and that's the men's kayak with them 1,000. But this was impressive from Belarus. It's there by Belarus.